Okay, good evening. Today, under this laws of motion, we are learning about the second law of motion, Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law explains us what happens to an object when a non-zero net force acting, not zero. It is a non-zero net force acting on an object. So generally, when a net force, non-zero net force means there is some net force acting. Whenever there is net force acting on an object, the object speed increases in the direction of the force. So the body get into accelerate. The body get into accelerate. So acceleration takes place from rest. Thus, we say that force is an action which produces acceleration. So when a force is acting on an object, that force makes the body to accelerate. The first point. A non-zero net force means net force is not zero. If a net force zero, the body is under equilibrium. But here is a non-zero net force acting on a body disturb the state of equilibrium. Means if a body is at rest, the net force is zero. If a body is a uniform motion, there you find there is a net force acting. So whenever this net force acting means a non-zero net force acting on an object, what happens? The body which is in rest get into motion. When a body is a uniform motion, increasing its speed. So in both the case, what happens? The body gets accelerate. The body is accelerating. The body get into acceleration means the equilibrium is disturbed. Equilibrium is disturbed. Now we are going to discuss how the acceleration of an object depends on the force. We are going to say how this acceleration depends on the force. Let us apply this one. First one, linear momentum. A badminton ball, just to take one example, and a cricket ball hit with same speed. Which one hurt you more? A badminton ball is there, a cricket ball is there. Both are struck with a bat. Both are moving the same speed and hitting to your body. Which gives a more injury? Can you give the answer? The cricket ball gives more injury than badminton ball. Why? Because the badminton ball, though it has same speed, the mass is less. It is a lighter ball. Whereas the cricket ball has a greater mass. So when the mass is greater, the mass affect to the acceleration. The mass affect to the acceleration. A small bullet fired from the gun, it damages the ball only due to its high speed. Suppose take a bullet gun, put on the wall, just to put on the wall. Is it damaging the wall? No. So the bullet has a, say for example, 10 grams. If the 10-gram bullet, when you put on the wall, not affecting to the wall. The same bullet, when you put in a gun and fire, trigger it, what happens? That bullet passes high speed, strikes the ball, then the ball gets damaged. So here is a difference is what? Speed. In the first case, speed is zero. Second case, speed is high, but mass is same. So this indicates, first example, mass is affecting. Second example, speed is also affecting. Two are there. Mass and speed. Speed are nothing but velocity. Both are affecting. Both are affecting. So we all know that heavy truck damages more than the bicycle. Suppose here is a truck is there, a bicycle, both are striking the wall. What happens? When the bicycle strikes the ball, bicycle gets damaged, not wall. So when the truck strikes the wall gets damaged but not strike. Why? Because here the truck has greater mass, bicycle has lighter mass. Those both are the same speed, but because of heavy mass, it causes the greater damage. So this can be explained by a concept called momentum. Here is the two entities. One is called the mass, second one is called velocity. So these two properties, these two characters comes under the one property is called momentum. So the called momentum, which is usually denoted by this symbol, is P. P is the representation of the momentum. P is the representation of the momentum. Momentum depends on two factors. Now already we discussed. One is the momentum depends on one mass depends on one mass, two velocity. So these are the two properties, two factors that affecting to the momentum. Momentum represented by P. Momentum represented. So P depends on one mass, two velocity. One is the mass, two velocity. These are the 2 points you can keep in mind. So Newton used the word mass in motion. Newton used this word mass in the motion of the object to represent the meaning of the momentum. So the momentum related to the motion of the object, in that motion Newton used this word mass. So what is a mass is used in motion to represent the meaning of the momentum. So what is a momentum of a body is simply called the product of the mass and velocity. So momentum is the product of mass and velocity. This is the means here is a P is equal to m into P. P is equal to m into P. This is called momentum, mass. So it can be stated as mass in motion. That's why it is called mass in motion. As all objects have mass, so they are under motion. If the object is in motion with some mass, then it acquires the momentum. When an object has some mass and it is in motion, has some velocity, then it acquires the momentum. Momentum is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. So in this case, which is the velocity is also vector. Mass is a scalar. Scalar into vector is equal to vector. Therefore, momentum is a vector. It has specific direction because of the velocity. So SI unit of the momentum is, mass is measured in SI unit of momentum is equal to, mass is measured in kilograms, it's been measured in meters per second. So it is called kilogram meters per second or you can write Newton second. This also can be written as Newton second. This is the SI unit of momentum. So what is the momentum? Is the property of an object under motion. It is the product of mass and velocity. Product of mass and velocity. If the mass is equal, if the velocity changes, momentum changes. If the velocity is equal, mass changes, momentum changes. So the momentum depends on mass and velocity. So therefore momentum is the product of mass scalar and velocity vector. Therefore the momentum is a vector. So this momentum is measured in SI unit is kilogram meter per second or Newton second. Kilogram meter per second or Newton second. Now non-zero net force. So now here is one more concept we should come to learn. Activity number 4. Larger the net force, greater the acceleration. So when the net force goes on adding to the object which is under motion, the body is moving more and more speed in the same direction, velocity increases, therefore velocity changes, so the body has greater acceleration. That means the net force is acting on an object is greater, the acceleration is also greater. So let us see this example. There are two objects are there. Here is one object, here is another object. On this object applied force is less, here the applied force is more. When the force is less, the body is moving less acceleration because velocity is less, because velocity changes less. Velocity changes less magnitude. But in this case, greater acceleration. Why it is greater acceleration? Because velocity changes more. Because greater change in velocity. Greater change in velocity. So you can write here when the mass is equal, here the masses are equal. Masses are equal. In this case, when the force is less, the body has less acceleration. When the net force applied is more, greater acceleration. Here the net force is less, here the net force is more. Second point, one more point let us see. So there are two objects are there. Here is one is a small object, here is a large object. When apply the force equal, applied force is equal, F is equal to F, 1, 2, both are equal. When the equal force acting on two objects where the masses are not equal, M2 is greater than M1. So therefore in this case, when the net force applied on an object is where the mass is less, the acceleration is greater. Acceleration is greater. Means the smaller body acquires greater acceleration and heavier body acquires less acceleration. Heavier body acquires less acceleration. So greater the mass, lesser the acceleration. Lesser the mass, greater the acceleration when the net force applied on these objects is equal. In this case, when the net force is not equal, masses are equal. When the mass is equal, when the net force increases, acceleration increases. When the net forces are equal, as the mass increases, the acceleration decreases. These are the two activities. So larger the mass, smaller the acceleration. Larger the mass, smaller the acceleration. Less acceleration. Lesser the mass, greater the acceleration. Here is the mass is less. Here the mass is greater. Greater the mass, lesser is the acceleration. Lesser the mass, greater is the acceleration. So this is a concept you must keep in mind. So if in both the cases objects are accelerating, so here is accelerated, here also accelerated, but here the difference is the difference in the applied force, here the difference in the mass. So it will not speed up as quickly as it means that the mass is greater, it will not gain up the speed as quickly as the lighter mass. So let us see from these two entities, larger the net force, greater the acceleration. Larger the net force, greater the acceleration. Second, lesser the mass, greater the acceleration. Lesser the mass, greater the acceleration. Or larger the mass, lesser the acceleration. Cornerstone. So according to Newton's principle, second law states, what is states that the rate of change in momentum, the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the net force acting on the object. Understand? The rate of change of momentum. See that one? When the force, net force acting on object, the object accelerated because the body has some momentum. So the momentum changes. When the acceleration changes means momentum changes. So instead of to say this one, mass relation and force relation, we can directly say that the net force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum. Let us see that answer. How do we explain this one? So Newton's second law states that Newton's second law. What is the Newton's second law? States that the net force acting on an object is directly proportional to the rate of change in momentum. The rate of change in momentum. So therefore, change in momentum. What is change in momentum? Change in momentum. Change in momentum is taken as the delta P. That is and the final momentum minus initial momentum is called change in momentum. Rate of change means the change in moment per unit time. That means here change in time. Change in final time minus initial time, that is equal to change in time. So rate of change means what? Rate of change. Change in momentum means is equal to change in momentum per unit time. Change in momentum. So this rate of change of momentum, the rate of change in momentum is equal to net force. So therefore, net force F net force is equal to change in momentum per unit time. This is called. So we can write net force is directly proportional rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum. So you can write here is a net force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. So, or you can say net force is equal to K into delta P by delta N. So K is the proportional constant. K is called proportional constant. So therefore, the SI unit of momentum on time, kilogram meter per second. Momentum on time, rate of change of momentum is kilogram meter per second and second. So the unit of force is also known as the Newton. So therefore we can write next one. One more point, let us see this answer. Change in momentum is equal to change in mass into velocity. Means when the mass changes, momentum also changes. The mass is constant, change in velocity. So change in momentum is equal to mass into change in velocity. Either that or this. Means when the mass changes, momentum changes. Or when the velocity changes, momentum changes. So change in momentum is equal to change in mass into velocity, or change in moment is mass into change in velocity. So therefore you can write, generally when a body is under motion, mass is not changing. Therefore you can write rate change in momentum is equal to delta m into v, change in momentum. So I can write here better, mass into delta v by delta t. So this is called rate of change of momentum, that is equal to net force. So the net force is equal to rate of change of momentum is equal to mass into change in velocity by change in time. So next point, the rate of change of velocity is called rate of change velocity. The rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Understand it clearly? The rate of change of momentum, the rate of change in momentum, this is the rate of change of momentum. Rate of change in momentum, delta v by delta t. Okay, so you can write here is the net force acting on an object is directly proportional to the rate of change in momentum. So that you can write here is the answer is here, this one. This is the definition. So the net force, here is the net force. The net force directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. So the rate of change of momentum is the net force. Again, rate of change in velocity is called acceleration. Therefore, acceleration is equal to delta v by delta t, rate of change of velocity. So instead of writing this value, you can write this also. Therefore, net force is equal to mass into acceleration. F is equal to m into E. Understand here? So change in velocity by change in time into mass is the net force. That is called nothing but rate of change of momentum. But now change of momentum is mass into change in velocity by change in time. Change in velocity, change in time is nothing but what? Acceleration. Therefore, net force is equal to mass into acceleration. So, therefore, the SI unit of the force is equal to kilogram meter per second square. So, you can write the net force. SI unit is equal to kilogram. Mass is kilogram. Acceleration meter per second square. This is the unit. Kilogram meter per acceleration measured in meter per second square. Mass in kilograms. So in that case you find here, there you find momentum is the kilogram meter per second. Okay. Let us go to the next concept. So net force is equal to change in momentum by change in time is a universal formula that can be applied for any system, for any object has a different mass. Net force MA can be applied only when the mass is constant. Here is the two things are there. This is one formula. Here there is another formula. Here is another formula. So this formula you can apply to any object. This is a universal formula. What is the universal? F is equal to delta V by means rate of change of momentum is proportional to the net is equal to net force. That is a universal formula you can apply to all objects. But this formula, net force is M into A, is applied only when the mass of an object is constant. Mass of an object is constant. Understand here? So then only we apply this formula only when mass is constant. To solve these problems by using Newton's second law, weight of a body is taken as mg, vertically down. So weight is nothing but what? Gravity force. So gravity force taken as a mass into accelerated to gravity. So net force under gravity, you can say m into g. This you can apply when the body is under the gravity force. When the body is moving either upward direction or downward direction under gravity force, then also we find the moment of the object changes. In that case, we can use the word is net force is equal to m into g. G is the acceleration due to gravity. The body moving under gravity force. The body is under gravity force. This is under external force. The body is moving under external force, constant mass. Here the constant mass, the body moving under gravity force. That's what we can say is called net force is equal to mg. Here net force is equal to ma. Okay. Now, one question: is it possible to move in a curved path in the absence of net force? Not possible. Why? The net force is acting on the object to change the object its direction for every moment. So without net, because here the net force acting as a centripetal force. So if there is no net force and there is no change in direction of velocity, therefore what happens? Not possible to move in a curved path. What is the movement of ceiling fan when it is rotating? When the ceiling fan is rotating, the velocity changes time to time. Velocity changes time to time. Then it has momentum. Ceiling fan has momentum when it is rotating. For every time the velocity changes, means the body is under acceleration. When a body is under acceleration with some mass is there, therefore it has acceleration. Okay, next. So here using first once again. So what about the linear momentum? So linear momentum is the product of the mass and velocity. Linear momentum of an object, of a moving object, is defined as the product of the mass and velocity. So whenever the mass changes, momentum changes. Whenever the velocity changes, momentum changes. So here a bus and a bicycle moving at the same speed, when it strikes any object, the object gets more effect due to the bus, not due to with the cycle, because the bus has greater mass, so it has greater momentum, and the cycle has less mass, has less momentum. So when the momentum increases, when the greater the momentum, greater is the effect. Greater momentum, greater is the effect. That's the reason. So momentum is affected by two factors. One is mass, second is the velocity. Non-zero net force acting on an object. If the non-zero net force increases, the body gets more acceleration. So when two bodies have equal mass, when the net force acting on these two objects are different, as the net force increases, the acceleration of the object is increasing. So object increases its acceleration as the applied net force increases. Applied force increases. Second point, as greater the mass at the constant net force, at constant net force, greater the mass, lesser the acceleration. Lesser the mass, greater the acceleration. So when the body has greater mass, it is velocity is not increasing much, so is a less acceleration. If the mass is less, the velocity increases more, so gets more acceleration. That is the effect of the mass and force. So next point, what is it? According to this Newton's second law, what is the statement according to Newton's second law? Second law states that the change of momentum of an object is proportional to the net force. So the rate of change of momentum is equal to the net force. So the change in momentum is proportional to the change of momentum is proportional to the net force. So therefore, the net force is directly proportional to change in momentum per unit time. The net force is directly proportional to change in momentum per unit time. Or you can say the rate of change of momentum is called net force. The rate of change of momentum is called net force. So that you can write the answer is. So you know that net force is measured in newtons and momentum is measured in kilogram meter per second, and rate of change of momentum is measured in kilogram meter per second square. So you can write here is the acceleration measured in meter per second square, mass is measured in kilogram. So rate of change of moment, the change of momentum is called kilogram meter per second, and net force is equal to kilogram meter per second square. Net force is equal to kilogram meter per second square, so that you must keep in mind all these values. Okay. So tomorrow we can continue this remaining task, Atwood machines. So related is one. There is one example for the second law, and we go to the second example. There are two more examples are there. Mat, rotation of the mat, rolling of mat, and one more is called Atwood machine. One more. This you will learn tomorrow. Then we will start the Newton's third law question. So let us see one by one. Thank you.